We're here at Granddad's house in Florida and we are making lasagna today. I already posted a video on how to make the Sunday gravy, which is the main sauce that's going to be going into the lasagna. If you can believe it, Granddad gave me my late mother-in-law's Sopranos Cookbook, the original. Turns out the neighbors that we're having over for dinner to have the lasagna with, apparently they attended this book launch, like back in the day, and the entire cast of The Sopranos was there. Small world. Anyways, this is my first time making lasagna noodles from scratch. I have made homemade pasta before. This is my mother-in-law's KitchenAid that still works. I think it's from like the 80s or 90s, I'm not really sure. But most of the attachments for kneading the dough are here. I brought my pasta roller and we're gonna just do a little lasagna together and see how it all goes. So this is the standard pasta recipe that I use for all of my pastas so far. 2 cups of flour, 3 large eggs, half a teaspoon of salt, and a half tablespoon of olive oil. You can use the mixer on the KitchenAid stand to combine the ingredients, and then from there you can just throw in that dough kneader and go at it for about 2 minutes. Now, if you don't have these attachments, you can definitely do it by hand, but you're probably looking at more like a 10-minute process of kneading, and it's a lot of handwork, you know what I mean? Once you've kneaded it for a couple of minutes, I like to pour it all out onto the counter. Just knead it for like 30 more seconds with my hands, just kind of combine it. If it's looking a little crumbly, you can add a little bit of water just by wetting your hands. If it's looking too wet, you can always add a little bit more flour. Wrap it up, let it sit for 30 minutes. I've got my pasta roller set up. My dough had been sitting for 30 minutes, so I'm going to cut it into 4 equal pieces, and I'm gonna start rolling. Stretching it out, I'm gonna start on the widest setting. And with this guy, I'm gonna be running it through, and I'm gonna go actually to like 5 or 6. I'm gonna get it nice and thin. If you wanna thin it out a little bit and make it a longer strip, you can fold it. Go a little bit more rectangular. Sort of works. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 6. Make it nice and thin. And then what I'll do is I will cut it in half so that it actually fits on the lasagna tray. Flouring it a little bit so it doesn't stick. This is where things get fun. I'm gonna try hanging them. If you dry them out a little bit, they're a little bit easier to cook. I don't have a pasta dryer, so I'm gonna use hangers. They won't stick quite as much. Let's repeat the process for the other pieces. For fresh egg pasta, you really only need to let it dry for like 30 minutes or so before refrigerating. If you're just using flour and water, you do have to let it dry for like 12 to 24 hours apparently. And again, you can skip this step if you wanted to, but I think this is pretty funny. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm getting my water boiling. So what I'm gonna be doing is dipping a few pieces of the pasta in for like 30 seconds to a minute, put them in a bowl of cold water, and then putting them on some paper towel or some lint-free towels to dry for a bit, and then repeating the process with the rest of the noodles. From there, we're gonna start layering this thing and like get it ready to go. So the way it's layered, you start with a little bit of sauce at the bottom, and then you go layer noodles, ricotta, meat from the Sunday gravy, mozzarella, sauce, parmesan. And you keep layering that 3 more times. And if you're making it ahead of time, you just cover that thing with plastic, pop it in the fridge. And then from there, we wanna preheat the oven, 350 degrees, and you're gonna bake this thing for like an hour 10, an hour 30. I'm gonna link the cookbook in my description if you want like the exact recipe and how it's all done. But in the meanwhile, I hope you enjoyed watching us make lasagna in Florida. I know it's a little bit different than my other cooking videos, which are in North Carolina in our farmhouse. It's really nice to have flat, even surfaces to cook on. I'm really looking forward to the farmhouse renos where we can like, the house won't be on an angle. I literally, like when I measure stuff, I have to like turn the measuring thing to make sure it's even because all of our surfaces are slanted, which is very fun. If you like what you watched today and you want to see more cooking stuff, we're not gonna be in Florida much longer, so there's not gonna be really much content filmed here in Florida, but there's gonna be a ton coming up in North Carolina. I gotta keep you guys updated on the farmhouse renovations, how all the animals are doing, how we're doing. All right guys, until next time. Well, first I need B-roll of this. Oh, on the focaccia. Oh my goodness.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Nobody judge me.
Wow.